what we covered in our beginner to intermediate polka class. We took just a few minutes of stressing that polka was a third foot dance position, having pulse and lilt, which is 1 and 2, 3 and 4, hitting kind of a diagonal as we move down the line, ball of the foot on all polka steps. The first pattern that we taught was an open left, called an open left, and without footwork, just the mechanics. We're moving down the floor, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I like most of my leads to happen after the weight has been committed on count 4. On count 4, the guy's going to send the lady out to an open left. At this point, he is going to do close with the lady so that the guy can go backwards. He will move right over here and close. And once again, this is just the mechanics. At this point, he is going to move outside partner, clearing the track for the lady to be led into a cross body lead. Okay, so that's the mechanics. The footwork is, the guy's going to do 1 and 2, move outside partner on 3 and 4. He'll lead the lady to the left, and then we'll pick it up from there. Ready, and 1 and 2, outside partner, 1 and 2, close it up, cross body lead, 3 and 4. Let me stress that the count, the actual pivot step on the crossbody lead happens on the and count. And let's see where that is one more time. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2. So guys, you need to take that frame, picking her up and rotating the frame, making her pivot on the and count. Okay? The second pattern we taught, once again, was an an open left position, 1 and 2 to an open left, 1 and 2 line of dance. Very important that we strike a straight line of dance right here. Two things are going to happen at this point after the 4 count. Guys are going to pull the lady across, and the guys are going to have a hand change. Guys, try not to reach and get this hand. You're going to pull her across and place her hand in Pac-Man. Going to pull her across and then do the hand change to a side-by-side. Make sure this is not side-by-side. This is a collapsed frame. We are dancing off balance. Present the lady, good balance. Guys behind just a little bit. Have good resistance right here. So when we apply the footwork to an open left to a side-by-side, it will be 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, pull her across, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, that was the second pattern. At this point, we had what I call back swaps. Okay, just the mechanics. Guys raises the right hand, drops the left, steps across in front, picks up the free hand. That was the guy's turn to go. I'm going to let go of my right hand. Ladies comes in front, and that's her turn to go. So you can see the revolving action that we get. It's the arms that makes this move. And what's good is we're never getting out of the polka step. Okay? When we apply footwork to that, 1 and 2, guy's turn. 1 and 2, ladies' turn. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay? I like 2, sometimes 3 passing patterns right there. Guy goes, lady goes, guy goes, lady goes. 2 or 3 is fine. How to come out of this mess. Okay? Mechanic-wise, guys are going to raise this left hand, slipping it over his head. Of course, he drops the right hand, sliding his hand across the lady's back right here so that you can have good contact because we're going to close. Let me say that again. The man's right hand is very important. Keeping the contact point with the lady, sliding right there because you're going to catch immediately. This step, footwork-wise, can be done either over 1 and 2, 3 and 4. What I'd like to stress is that we have 6 steps to do it in. So this move does not have to be rushed. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Hand comes up, 3 and 4. This particular one, I prepped the 4. So that I can cut into her track on 1 and 2. Okay, you can also do 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Prep that one immediately and a big step around, which is pretty much the same way. The other way I eased into it. First way I eased into it, that step was a big step. You can also do 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So any of the steps with the right foot will prep you into getting out of the move. Once we have come out of this move and gone here, we can pick up the pattern we did earlier, which was the crossbody lead, right back to closed dance position with the lady going backwards. If you have any questions,
we're starting from a closed position, going down the line of dance. The line of dance is this way. We're going to do 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to take my partner to the outside. We're going to start a right turn. So I'm going to step around Debbie, and as I do this, I'm going to put her right arm behind her back. I'm going to step 1 and 2, and then I change hands. Remember, when you change hands, you don't want to just let go and grab. You want to place the hand from one hand to the other. So as she comes past me, I'm going to change hands 3 and 4. Okay? Now, it's very important that I don't try to spin her out here. So as she comes around 3 and 4, I'm going to hold her in place. I don't want to let her start taking off down the line of dance. Now, as she spins on the 1 and 2, what's very important is that I let the hand drop. If I start to pull the arm, it binds it, okay, which is pretty uncomfortable. What I want to do is let the hand drop and turn over. She's going to spin down the line of dance, and I'm going to move up next to her. We step 1 and 2. Now notice how the hand dropped and then came up. I'm going to grab the other hand. We step back 3 and 4. This puts us into our standard lariat position. I'm going to do a little variation on that. I'm going to bring Debbie around me. 1 and I'm going to hook 2. I'm also going to place my right hand on my shoulder and then let go. I bring her around with the left hand while I do a coaster step. 3 and 4. Again, notice there's no spin there. All I'm doing is bringing her around. Now on the 1 and 2, I'm going to spin her using my left hand to lead. We're going to do 1 and 2. On 2, I take a side step. So I'm facing Debbie, she's facing line of dance. I turn with her, 3 and 4. Now as I turn on that 3 and 4, let me do this toward the camera. She's going to start her spin. We're going to do 1 and 2, 3 and 4. All I do is take my hand, place it in front of her. I want to make sure as I'm turning that I don't try to reach for her. I'm just going to turn around and place the hand here. Now dancing this next part socially, this would look like 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. What we're going to do is we're going to change the timing a little bit to make this quick. It's not leadable socially, but this is an interesting variation if you want to try it. We just change this to single timing. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? It just gives it a little bit more sharpness. Now from here, I'm going to stay in place. I'm going to spin Debbie down the line of dance. 1 and 2, I'm going to change hands. I'm going to rotate the hand downward to turn us out. We're going to do 3 and 4. It's kind of a little side coaster step. Okay, so we're looking at our audience. Line of dance is that way. I'm going to draw Debbie past me and catch her with the right hand on the hip. 1 and 2, I step behind her. Left hand goes to the shoulder. I'm going to draw her back and get out of her way. 3 and 4, I prep in behind her. Now I'm going to spin her down the line of dance. 1 and 2. On 2, I'm going to catch her shoulders because normally she would turn back toward me. And I'm going to catch her shoulders, lead her forward, 3 and 4. Notice I'm slightly on the inside. Let's turn this so we're going toward the camera. We've done our 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Now I'm going to spin Debbie to the left, and I'm going to turn to the left also, doing kind of a pivot turn. We're both going to do 1 and 2, 3 and 4. We're going to be kind of a high five here, doing our patty cakes or our hand pushes. We're going to start with a walk-walk. This is a little bit different timing on the hand pushes. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then from there, I'm just going to spin her out. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and we're back to a closed position.